Dude, show me the neck pickup. Just the neck pickup on that bass.
Just the neck pickup with the slap.
Hit me with the slap and the neck pickup. Ooh. And what about both pickups on? Oh, it's completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, totally different.
What are you going for? That's both. And then
I don't know. It's so cool.
It's that, isn't it? I don't know. Like, if you're on a gig, where are you going? And it's like, it's slap time. I know this doesn't happen, but just imagine it did. Imagine you're on the gig and like a massive hand comes down from above like this. Like, right, and it points, and on the finger it just says slap time. You look down at your bass. Yeah, you look down and you're like, oh, yeah. Where do you go with it? Exactly. What do you do? What do you do?
Here's the thing. If I've been playing neck pickup all night, I'd probably just leave it there because there's something about that bottom end of the neck pickup that kind of on a jazz bass style instrument, if you go both, the volume kind of comes down a little bit, right? It sort of scoops out. Yeah. So I find that on a gig, I'm favoring neck pickup a lot, and I'd probably just keep it there. Versus this. I think that sounds better in like isolation, the two pickup thing. But there's something about the neck pickup that has a little bit more mid-range that kind of it's just a little meaner.
It's super barky. And are you playing on gigs? Are you playing more neck pickup than both on?
Almost always, actually.
Almost all, just neck pickup, or just favoring.
Just like slightly rolled back. Kind of what I do always is I take my knobs, turn them all the way up, and then just turn the bridge pickup down a little bit. It's like Pavlovian.
Oh, so it's kind of the bridge pickup's kind of on.
Yeah, I just favor the neck pickup. You know what I mean?
I wonder. Yeah, on this bass, if you turn off that neck pickup, the bridge pickup just a little bit, it just sounds like the neck pickup.
It's almost like a switch. Yeah.
That's both on. Yeah.
It's cool.
Just dialed, and this is all the way off. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. Just to let you know, I don't know what I'd go for.
Yeah. When the slap finger points at you, what are you doing?
Normally, I'd probably have both pickups on, and I'd be like, "Oh, I can't hear myself," so I'll just go. Same thing because
yes. That is the gigging dilemma, right?
Yeah.
If you play a jazz bass. Yeah. Both pickups on. Oh, I can't kind of hear myself, right?
You can just hear yourself when you put the neck pickup on way better.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Mid-range comes up. Sounds a little more like a P bass.
Yeah.
But like barkier, or not barkier than a P bass. Yeah, it's more nimble than a P bass.
Man, I listen to people play like when you listen to people play, I think I maybe enjoy the jazz bass. I've been listening to Justin Raines over the weekend, who's outrageous.
Yeah.
And he's like full jazz bass sound, and it just sounds absolutely incredible. Incredible. Yes. Justin Raines, Mr. Justin. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
You are an awesome bassist.
Remember when he heard Iron Maiden for the first time?
I do.
On our channel.
Yeah. If anybody wants to check out Justin, who's a monster player, listen to Iron Maiden for the first time. Just do a quick search on our channel. You'll find it. It's outrageous. Anyway, we are here today to, celebrate the joy of slap bass. And I've organized, I was going to say I've organized like 10. We thought it'd be fun to jump into who we feel are, like legends in the space of slap bass. And, you know, there's so many great players out there that play slap bass. You know, we were like, oh, maybe like Ready Freddie Washington. Like, there's so many greats, right? But we just ended up with too many. We ended up with too many, and we didn't want to make a 3-hour video. So we had to come up with some kind of, you know, filter, right? So we could, you know, whittle it down to around 10. I think that we might have more than 10, but around that number. And the rule that we've used, if they've got to be a slap freak. They've got to be a freak show, you know, in the greatest of ways. I love freaks. Of
course, same.
Everybody
freaks
you're
are the
about
best.
to watch, freaks are the best.
They're the best.
Get out, you freak. But
let it fly.
Yeah, let your freak fly. So all of these players are sort of like either historically really important to the development of slap bass, or they're just outrageous freak shows when it comes to slap bass. And we just put them in all in one video. We're going to listen to them. We're going to be talking about how they approach slap bass, the differences between them all, because the interesting thing about slap bass is there's a lot of difference in terms of how they play. You've got the Fleas, you've got the Larry Grahams, you've got the Marcus Millers, you've got the Victor Wootens, and everybody in between, and they've all got very different approaches to slap bass. And it has a huge impact on like how they sound, but also how they execute lines as well. So, Mr. Allison, are you ready for numero uno? Number one, I'm going to start with, I'm starting with The Godfather. And I know that you know exactly who this is, right? Yep. Mr. Larry Graham. Check it out.
1, 2, 3.
That's it. We don't need to see any more.
I mean,
it
is so cool.
And look at the font.
The font is great.
When was this?
Oh my God.
Was it like 90s, early 90s?
Would have been like late 80s, early 90s. I'm sure we could find it. But yeah, I saw this, and all like where he talks about his effects too. This video, the entire thing is gold.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he runs through all of his effects. He talks about his time in with Sly. He always does like this sort of historical breakdown of himself narrating as he's playing the bass, which is so fun. It kind of like takes you through.
He tells the story in music.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Exactly. It's like a musical, like a one-man show kind of, you know?
And I think if we look at this, he's maybe got his microphones. Oh no, because he used to, on some of them, he's got his microphone stuck to the top of his bass, hasn't he?
Yes, it's like attached.
Yeah,
which is just so cool, man.
Yeah.
I took my mom to see Larry Graham at the Dakota in Minneapolis a number of years ago for Mother's Day, pre-COVID, and he came out, man, in the full white suit. I mean, he looked just like this, the same bass, and he had the mic on it, you know. And my mom was dancing, and Larry Graham came over and was dancing with my mom.
Get out, seriously?
I'm not kidding. And I was like, Larry Graham, I love you, but you stop dancing with my mom.
Get away from my mom. Yeah. Okay, so check it out. Watch it, and we can talk about this as we're getting into it.
God, his sound is so cool.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
And check it out. He plays like if you don't know, Larry Graham like invented slap bass, and you can see that he plays it very differently to like Marcus Miller or Victor Wooten or Flea. He keeps on putting his hand right back down by the bridge. Check it out. Oh, what a voice!
That's so cool.
Like he's got it down, like down there.
I know,
right?
yeah, he's slapping it down. It's so crazy.
Can you do that? Can you get that vibe?
I mean, not really.
Yeah,
like, I mean, Larry's like loose with it. Yeah, show me. You say you can do it.
No, I can't.
Oh, you
like,
can't?
Not on an open string. I can do it on a fretted. Like, he's got that kind of like. But
that bounce.
I don't know how he does it on the open string and keeps it that funky and loose. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
There's that like, you know, what's the first, you know, where he's playing. dance to music, right?
Yeah.
Where that feels a little easier, you're right, because you're sort of left-hand muting to lift the notes. It's not this, right? It's...
Yeah.
But he's not, like, I'm really committed to slapping like right near this area of the fingerboard, like right behind this fingerboard area.
Yeah.
But Larry's kind of like...
I'm always here as well, yeah. But he's all over the place.
Yeah, Larry's like loose with it. Sometimes he's back here, sometimes he's here. It's just like incredibly comfortable. And look at that thumb. I mean, even in this pause moment, look at that thumb. It's just this big curve. He's got this giant
thumb. He's just like my leg.
Just a funk thumb, dude.
Oh.
Come on, dude. Just like a showman.
Oh.
So funky. Oh.
And check it out, his thumb's going all the way through the string there as well.
Yeah,
you know, we've talked about it on this channel before. There it goes. It actually looks like he's playing it quite light as well in a way. Ooh. Oh, and yeah,
where
the
he's
octaves
like
that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God.
But if check this out, guys. If you haven't seen this before, what he's doing, he's going all the way. He's not doing like the Flea bounce. That thing, he's not doing that. He's going all the way through the actual string, like a plectrum. And he's going like, I'm going to do it on this B string. All the way through.
Yes.
And that was key for me, actually, getting that technique down, was just learning to do it on one string was like it was really important for me. Check this out though, dude. We can't do Larry without doing hair. So dude. Good. Can you remember the first time you heard this? It was outrageous, wasn't it?
Yes, because I thought it was going to come in with drums in like not halftime.
In a different way. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be regular time or double time.
Has he got flats on this? Yeah, flat wound.
Sounds like flats or tapes, I think, actually.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
People like me everywhere. They say, is that really all you have? I just tell them if it ain't. Well, it sure
so incredible, isn't it? Yeah. And getting the right feel on that's really hard. And again, if you're... It's this next bit. Let me just put it on again. That. Because he's thumbing it all, right?
I think so. Yeah, what is that? Let's see. Something like that?
What are you doing? Sort of like, what is that? So, is it that?
That's
like some kind of
I've always
sliding,
played it,
isn't it? It's like really greasy. And it's a combination, isn't it?
Yeah, man. That is like something like that. Man, it's so cool.
Dude, we need to get... Dude, Larry's in Minneapolis. We need to
Listen, man,
it's
get him crazy. On. Yes, Larry lives like down the street, but somehow to me, he has remained very elusive. I mean, not purposefully. He's not like...
Can you not like just go knocking?
I mean, maybe. He's right next to Paisley Park. I feel like there's cameras. I don't know, man. I feel like I might get dropped through a funky trap door or something, you know, down into the funky dungeon.
Listen, if that happened, it would make the story even better. Like, Actually, if you end up getting arrested, it's a better story.
I'm not doing it. No, but we have to get in touch with Larry. You're right. I mean, it has to happen.
Yeah.
And I will make that happen, Scott Devine.
We should do it. Hey, let's jump to the next one. I'm actually not sure who it is.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Louis Johnson.
Johnson hitting the bass so hard, dude. Hitting the bass so hard. Slapping the absolute ear out of the bass.
Yeah. And again, completely different style than Larry Graham.
God.
Beautiful 90s font.
Yeah. How far his hand comes off the bass.
Yeah.
And how much his thumb comes over, right? Just laughing at any best practices of technique, you know?
He's like, it's funk, but it's like punk, isn't it? It's like punk attitude. It's like got this sort of like raw energy to it.
It reminds me of Flea.
Yeah.
I mean, Flea had to have been inspired by this guy.
Oh yeah, but like where the difference is between this and Flea, if you watch him playing, like what's the difference? What jumps out to you as being the difference between Louis playing and Flea?
More of just like in this clip, that steady 16th note thing. This kind of feels like more like a Larry Graham meets Flea, almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, like same. I think in terms of how he's hitting the bass. So like when Larry was hitting it, it's like
right,
and
yes, sir.
It's not like whatever this is. I'm not about to do like a Louis Johnson impression because I can't, but it's not this.
Right.
This is sort of like definitely in terms of like the aggressiveness there.
Yeah, he's hitting so hard.
Yeah, that reminds me of Flea. I would say that there's more of a 16th note flow in this, or there's something about it that's maybe a little, I'm hesitating to say, but maybe a little funkier than Flea. I think Flea's airing more on the kind of sort of like it's like rockier. It's a rockier sound
for sure,
and approach. But there's definitely things that Flea took from Louis Johnson. But his technique's slightly different as well. If you look at his that thumb,
it's pretty parallel.
It's pretty parallel, isn't it? And what we're talking about is this, the shape of his thumb. He's not aiming it like down like Flea. Right.
And sometimes it kind of goes up, you know, I feel like, you know, because of Larry had that thumb that's so long and kind of curved. Like Larry's got that big funk thumb, you know, and sometimes even when he's playing straight up like this, because of the shape of his thumb, it sort of looked like his thumb was up, like that his arm was down and his thumb was up, but I don't think so. Larry like had a really just nice, natural. He wasn't like trying to put his thumb in the air. I feel like it was just the curvature of his body. You know what I mean? Like how he was made. And then I think other people sort of tried to imitate that, you know, like later in the 70s and 80s and try to like, I feel like even Marcus has talked about, oh man, you know, I tried to get my thumb up like Larry, you know, but I don't think his thumb really was up. It was just because the shape of it. You know what I mean?
Because it was a freaking massive appendage.
Yeah.
Should we jump? Let's check out Flea actually, because I think I've got a great clip of Flea. I showed you this a couple of weeks back.
This is
and I think
awesome.
It's outrageous actually, and you'll just see this kind of like the same energy that Louis was just using there. You'll see Flea using it here, but again, it's rockier. It's not as fun. It's not as loose. But goddamn, it's good.
1989.
Woo! Both playing Music Men.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the hair as well, dude. I think there's like a clip later on as well where Flea gets out the slap chops.
Like a bass break.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Outrageous. Jeez. Yeah, Flea's all about it's all about the octave, right? It's all about the octave. He's got so many octaves.
And and it's all that pattern of like essentially just like yes.
Whatever he's playing, but yeah. And his thumbs down as well, and that's different. So
and bouncing away, right?
Yeah. That sounds killer. What's that? What is it? Do it again.
I think so. I think that's what it is. It's that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I used to teach it like that. I used to tell my students it's like a seesaw going back and forward. Like you've got this seesaw motion going back and forward, and you go. And that is how Flea's doing it, but it isn't.
Absolutely.
It isn't how Larry's doing it, and some of the other guys coming up. It's not how they're doing it as well, and that's what we talked about right at the top of this video. There are different approaches to this. The Flea thing is about that seesaw back and forward. A great way to practice that as well, just to get the motion. It's on the back of the bass.
Come on.
It's all about that arm rotation. I always imagine sort of like grabbing a knob and like twisting a doorknob.
Oh,
like that type of approach.
Dude, I was watching SBL content when you were talking about twisting the doorknob. I remember that. I was like, oh, yeah, man.
Way back in the day.
That brings me back, dude. That's great.
In the olden years.
Yeah, yes.
Who's next? So who we've had? We've had Larry. We had Lewis Johnson. We had Flea. We've got a bunch more. Let me just flick through. Mark King.
Mark
legend.
King, level 42.
Legend.
UK legend, right?
Yeah, dude, yeah. We need to get Mark in as well. Check this out.
We do. Jeez. Listen to that bass.
Yeah.
Thumb up, kind of, right? Bouncer, but
what did you
thumb
say?
up.
Oh, yeah.
I said thumb up.
Yeah. Yeah, but bouncing.
Bouncing, yes.
Yeah. Whereas so there's a different mix here. There's some people like Flea, for instance, go thumb down and they bounce. So they're bouncing off the actual string. Some people play like more parallel where they're playing through the string or thumb up. Like that, right? But Mark is thumb up and bouncing. Oh,
yeah.
3 techniques here. By the way, just in case, I'll tell you after that. Let me just do Mark King first. Got something to tell you after this. Check it out.
Okay, good. It's like the brightest bass I've ever heard, too.
He likes it bright. I think the strings are super light. Oh, I think he puts tape around it, I think.
Got those light up dots, too.
Oh, yeah, dude. Is it a status?
Yes. Heck yeah, it is.
Status.
Status.
Woo.
Oh my God, bring it to us, Mark King.
What was he doing there?
Yeah, I think
Is
so.
that the machine gun triplets?
That kind of thing, right? Where it's like
Yeah, how
open
you doing
hammer,
it?
thumb, pluck. Open hammer, thumb, pluck. That's it. Yes.
Okay. Open, hammer, thumb, pluck.
Yep.
It's so cool, isn't it?
Yeah, man. I mean, and he's an OG. Like that sound, and it's so compressed, the graphite neck, he has such a different thing to all the other guys we've checked out so far. It's like more modern, more hi-fi, and he is all thumbs and pops. Never any double thumb, right?
No.
And thumb up bounce. That's
He's
cool.
a drummer. He was a drummer first, actually. He was a drummer first, and then obviously, and I think to a pretty high level as well. And then obviously took. There's various interviews of him online talking about how he basically just took a lot of the drum rudiments to bass. But yeah, his sound is way different to any of the
So
rest.
different.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. You know.
Oh boy. Get off my lawn, Divine is coming in hot. Get off my lawn, Divine. Here he comes.
It's like I'd love to hear him with like thicker strings, maybe. I think that's
Sure.
it. Yeah, I think that it sounds like really thin strings. So I'd love to hear him with thicker strings. Not that there's anything wrong with Mark King's sound. Let me just put it out there before everybody kills me in the comments. Please do not.
Just the most passive aggressive thing would be to send Mark King.
Yeah. Oh, like what? Send him some strings. Listen, Mark, if you're watching this, I'm not gonna. Hey, you keep. Alan, stop recording. I love your sound. No, I do love his sound. But I just wish the set, like it sounds like thin strings, and I'm not a fan of thin strings in the sound. That's all. That's all.
Like there's a limit, and that graphite sound too is very compressed, right? It's like there's a limit to how far the sound goes. You know what I mean? Like you can hear when you're pulling a thin string really hard, there's just like a brick wall of dynamic where it kind of stops.
Yeah.
But I don't know, dude. That's like part of his thing, you know?
Yeah, dude. Listen, I dug my hole. I'm in the hole. I'm looking for a friend to pull me out of the hole. And you are just stood there laughing at me in the hole.
Hey, you've done it to yourself. But listen, I'm going to extend a hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to extend a
Pull
hand
me out
through
the
the
hole.
internet. I'm going to pull you out. Together, we're going to get you out of this hole, Scott Divine.
Oh, my word.
Hey, listen, is there any...
Oh, and he plays a short scale, by the way. Just to
Is that a short scale? Really?
I think it's a 32-inch scale, yeah.
Well, that's a medium, bro.
Is that a medium?
Yeah,
I
but
love short
it
scale.
is shorter than standard. and we all know how you feel about short scale basses.
I
We all
love
know.
short scale basses. God damn. Listen, while everybody's watching me down this hole, disappear down it, like, sinking into the quicksand. The reason why we wanted to do this video as well is because we've actually just opened our course, Ian and I's course called the Slap Accelerator. It is open for enrollment right now, and we only do it once a year. We open it once a year for enrollment. So if you want to come and learn slap bass from us two bass clowns, and you can put up with us for, I don't know, however long it is, 20 weeks long or something like that. It's a full thing, full program, and it's incredible in terms of teaching slap bass. We take a unique approach. What we do is we've broken down slap bass into all of these little attributes that make up the technique, because slap bass isn't just one thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, it's thumbs, it's pops, it's pull-offs, it's slides, it's articulations, there's open hammer thumb plucks, there's all of these things that sort of like, you get them all together, and that really makes a great slap bass technique. And what we've done with this program is break them all out. So you learn one individual technique at a time.
Yeah.
in grooves, in songs, not just like technique, not just exercises where we're like, yeah, just play this exercise until the cows come home. Not that, right? We teach you the technique, then you apply that technique to actual music, to grooves, playing with a drummer, really getting a feel for it. And then once you've mastered that one technique, then we move on to the next technique and we actually stack it like that. It's kind of a really unique way to approach learning slap bass. We've not seen anybody else do it. And the program with, I think, how many times have we opened it for enrollment? Twice?
I think twice. I think just twice. So this will be the third time, I believe.
Alan is holding up 2 fingers.
Yeah.
And he's naked. He's not naked.
Is he holding them up like this or like this? It makes a difference in the UK.
He's fully he's got a t-shirt and he's got shorts on. But yes, we've opened it twice before. We've had like hundreds of students go through this. Actually, thousands, I think, go through this program. It's a really, really incredible program. I wish something existed like this when I was trying to learn. And I actually almost had to learn again before creating this program because I was one of them players that I was like, I don't really do slap. Slap isn't really my thing. And I'm sure that you've heard other bass players say that before. You might have even said that as well. I'm not really into slap. Well, I was that person. And honestly, just like transparently, it's because I just didn't think I was very good at it and I didn't find it very natural. And then the conversation came up. Ian and I were in the pub. Hey, we're in the pub.
Yeah, that's right.
Around the corner from my place. And we're like, we're going to do this new accelerator. What should we do? And I think it was either you or Eric who we were hanging with at the time. We're like, we should do a slap because slap's awesome. And I was like, slap is awesome. And then I was like, oh no. I need to, everybody's seen you slap, Ian, and you're incredible at it. And I was like, oh shit, I need to really dig in and make this happen. So I practiced a lot to get fluid and get ready for filming the program. And a lot of the exercises that I was going through to prepare for the program ended up in the program. So all that to say, if you want to, up-level your slap bass skills, take them to the next level, or if you've never really sort of played slap bass before, definitely check out the program. We wanted to keep it really serious, so we came up with a very serious URL that we're going to tell you to go to.
Incredibly serious.
Incredibly serious. Are you ready?
I think they are.
IanandScottGoWild.com is the URL you can go to. Ian and Scott Go Wild. Thankfully, the program itself, just to be very clear, the program is not called Ian and Scott Go Wild. The program is called the Slap Bass Accelerator, but we're children and we thought Ian and Scott Go Wild would just be, a reflection of our personalities.
It's just a good time.
Just a good time. Links in the description down below, and it's open for enrollment right now. And we only open it for like one time a year. So go check it out. And we've also created all of these incredible bonuses as well that we're giving away, like hundreds of dollars of value of bonuses when you sign up. Shout out to Eric and Simon who've been putting all of that together behind the scenes. You guys rock.
Yes. And it's just to add on to it, it is for sure, without a doubt, I can confidently say the best slap material online. By far, because I've checked it all out. I am like a closet slapper. I mean, not anymore, but there was a time where I was like, I loved it as a kid and I worked really hard on it, but then I put it away because there was a time, right, where it's not cool and I'm trying to be sideman. But bringing it out again, like getting the slap bass chops out of the closet and making this program with you, Mr. Divine. I mean, really, we focused it on music. So it isn't, as Scott said, not just a bunch of exercises. It's actually you're playing grooves. They're all custom made for the program. We also do these style breakdowns of the greats. I believe we do Flea. We break down Flea in detail, Victor Wooten in detail, Marcus Miller and Larry Graham in detail, and talk about what contributes to those styles. We have riffs in the style of. It's a blast. If you feel that, it's going to be too hard, it starts out assuming you've never slapped the bass before, ever. Yeah. So don't feel like, it's this incredibly difficult thing. Starts out at the very beginning, and then it gets quite challenging. There's stuff in it. So even if you're like, I'm pretty good at slapping the bass, there's a lot of stuff in it that you may not have checked out, like, all the double thumb stuff. right? That kind of thing. So if you haven't done that kind of stuff before, come along and check it out. Whether you're beginning, you're in the middle, you're advanced, there's going to be something for you at it. Check it out at ianandscottgowild.com.
That might have been our greatest idea of all time. Maybe not. But with that said,
no, the pause was not to disagree. I'm just silently agreeing with you. I think it is 100%.
With that, let's give it away to Mr. Marcus Miller doing this incredibly awesome riff that is a complete pain in the backside to play.
Beast.
Here we go.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the heck? That. Oh, now.
Ugh.
There he goes again. So like Marcus isn't like, he's using like double thumb here on that little skip that'll come up. Yeah. But he doesn't use it all the time. It's not like he's a double thumb guy. Not like Victor, right? There we go again.
Dude.
Yeah, I love it. I just love it. What a clean... He's so clean when he plays. There's so much control. It's like very different. Just as we're going down this sort of like this comparison thing, very different from Louis Johnson. Louis Johnson,
yeah, right.
No, Marcus is not like that at all. He's like just there's something just so, but like funky, but just tight.
Well, and to me, Louis Johnson, that thing was like off the dome. That thing that Louis Johnson was playing was like an improvised 16th note thing. It had to have been.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
I feel like, right? He's like jamming. Yeah. Whereas Marcus can jam and improvise, but that power, that is absolutely through composed. That's a complete part, right? It locks up with the horns. It's a melody. But he's writing in the interview that he did with you. He talked about like writing for the instrument, and that like somebody like Stanley Clarke was a great person at writing for the instrument and celebrating the bass. And that's what I hear him doing and carrying on, is like he's writing music, writing melodies and parts, but that celebrate the bass. You know, instead of just kind of like slapping the shit out of the bass, you know, and that's cool too. But Marcus is actually composing with Slap to make a fully formed, like you say, tight. It's like this airtight package of like slap bass. It's very controlled and cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's for me, like I'm not sure about the whole sort of like lineage of slap bass. People that jump out to me like Larry Graham, obviously like Louis Johnson, and then Marcus Miller, obviously within that mix I think he's a little older than Louis was. I mean, a little younger than Louis was, but around that same time, But for me, it's just a different approach. It's got that same energy to it, but it's just not as aggressive. It's tighter, it's cleaner. And then when I listen to, Henrik Linder, for instance, I can directly attribute. For me, it's really interesting to listen to people playing slap and think like, where are they coming from?
Where to come from?
Yeah, yes. Where are they coming from? And from like Henrik Linder, I can see that direct line straight to Marcus Miller. That cool. Sound and that sort of like approach. I'm not sure what that. What's it? Was it? I ain't gonna even try and play it.
You know what? I've never worked that up. I should.
I did know it.
Never worked that one out.
I knew it when I interviewed him. But I'm rubbish. Anyway, moving on. We
should talk Linder since you mentioned him. We should go to Linder.
Get him on? Okay, let's get Linder on.
Oh my God. I mean, Mr. Henrik Linder, and yes, derivative of all the greats, as everyone is, right? Like everyone owes so much to Larry, first of all. Everybody would say that. But Henrik also really has his own thing. Henrik with all of the open string stuff. Yeah. So like crazy.
Influenced by country. Yeah. Check this out. This is his tone in this is outrageous.
Jeez, dude.
You know what? It's got that Marcus tone, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very scooped out.
Yeah.
Oh, this fill they do here. This thing.
Tell you what, dude, hours went into the production of this.
Of course.
It's so good, isn't it? You can just feel that the sort of like the time and the effort they've put into the production is just beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. And the mix and how they process the instruments, it's crazy. Like it's another level of production for sure.
Yeah, it's next level.
But I mean, we've sat right next to Henrik Linder, and he's played that stuff for us, and he is an absolute freak show. He's an absolute
he's a freak,
monster. Light, controlled, and all of that like open string. I feel like you have pulled some of that down, right? Yeah, like what is that?
He'll play sort of like loads of open strings. Should I try and find a clip with him doing it in it? I think
there's that country thing where he plays where he's like,
because he said a lot of it came from that.
From I can't remember which guitar player he attributed this to. Henrik, if you ever listen to this, I'm so sorry. God. But talked about it like from a country guitar, almost chicken picking.
It was like a chicken picking thing, wasn't it? Yeah, I think he does it at the top of this. There you go. And you can see he's like, it's like I'm not playing that actual tune, but
oh yeah,
what this arm just does this.
It's like
whatever it is. Yeah,
it's like open hammer pluck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Open hammer pluck. And not always, but...
And he's got some sort of like... he's got some octaves in there as well.
It's such a bizarre, like the thing that it gets into to me. I'm like, whoa, all right, fellas. You know what it reminds me, man? It reminds me of Stu Ham doing the...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That thing.
Exactly.
Oh, it's great. Wow. Oh, okay. You just brought up the GOAT. We're talking about Victor Wooten right now?
Yeah, and again, very different approach, right? So we've had, Marcus, we had Henrik going back, then we have Marcus, and you could see the sort of like the similarities in that. But Marcus isn't doing he's not doing that whole that country approach thing that Henrik's doing. And is Henrik doing a lot of double thumbing? I don't think he is at all. He's not doing a lot.
I don't think so, actually. I don't think he uses that maybe ever. Again, Henrik, I could be wrong. But yeah, I don't think that's a thing he does. I think he's mostly like he has his completely own style of like hammer-ons, open string, pull off, and a fast single thumb.
Yeah. And then Marcus does use a little bit of double thumbing, but not that much. In fact, none of the people that we've spoken about really use a lot of double thumbing. Maybe like Larry Graham in a different way, but not like how when somebody says double thumb, I have a specific, thing that I'm thinking about. When they say double thumb, I'm like, Victor Wooten. That's what that's the person, right? And what we mean by this, just before you watch Victor do it, is you're going through the string, okay? And then once you've gone through the string, you're coming back up. So this is different to everybody, a lot of the players that we've been watching, because they've been bouncing, right? So they hit the string and they bounce off. That would be Mark King. That would be Lewis Johnson.
Flea.
That would be Flea. They're bouncing off. Marcus does play through, but he's not going up and down through the string all the time. Whereas Victor does it a ton. So with that said, here's Vic doing his thing. And I love them pants.
Oh, same, dude. Zubas. Dare to be different.
We never had Zubas in the UK, dude.
I mean, right away, his pocket is so incredible.
Now he's using a little bit of index finger in there, but he's actually doing a lot with just his thumb. There we go. That's all thumb now.
All thumb.
All thumb. Woo!
Jeez.
And you're the first person I saw doing that where it sounds like a pop, right?
Yeah, on the G. Right.
That.
Yep.
That's so weird to me.
Yeah, man.
It's easier now, but it felt crazy.
Yeah, it's such a cool sound. And the thing that I just got excited about, like I love this riff of Victor's, but I mean, I remember him even talking about just taking a note.
Yeah.
And just essentially using your thumb sort of like a pick, right?
I've got one here, yeah.
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 That's kind of the vibe. Right.
But you're going.
Yes.
And if anybody's struggling with this, I struggle too. What helped me, I mentioned it before, is just doing
downs.
All downs to begin with, and you're going through the string, all the way through the string.
Yep.
Don't even worry about the ups to start with. Get that down. And then every now and again, try and do a little to gong, gong, gong. So 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also when you're doing it, if you're like me, it's going to feel weird. I kind of think about it, when you break a plate open and you've got that sort of like raw bit of kind of like, that stuff.
Ceramic in there.
Yeah, that ceramic. Oh, and you're like scratching. Oh, it makes me do that. That's what it used to feel like when I was doing this.
You didn't like the way it felt on your nail.
Oh, dude, it felt awful.
Yeah.
But it just goes after a few weeks. So just, it's like, when you picked up the bass for the first time and it was sore, right? It's kind of the same kind of thing. It's just going to feel a little uncomfortable on the top. And as Ian was saying earlier as well, we go through this extensively in the Slap Bass Accelerator. So if you do want to check it out, IanandScottGoWild.com.
Oh, that's the URL, baby.
That's the URL. By the way, this is my favorite bass that Victor plays. This is the bass.
This Fodera.
The tone of this bass is so good. I love it.
Same.
Woo. Yeah.
God.
Do you know at the end of this video, I think it was this instructional video, just in case you weren't like destroyed enough by the monstrous playing of Victor, right? And you weren't like wowed enough by his sort of like virtuosity. At the end of the video, there's a clip of him. He's on a unicycle playing his bass. Can you remember? And he's got his hat on the headstock. So he's like riding around on a unicycle. Give me a shout in the comments if you've seen this. He's riding around on his unicycle and his hat's, and then at some point he like flicks his hat off the bass and it lands on his head. What on earth is going on? Frightening.
Just
frightening.
Just an incredible showman. Also was doing all those sick like 80s guitar spins before any of those dudes from Poison or Cinderella or Warrant was doing them. You know what I mean? He was doing that with, I feel like with Curtis Mayfield, he was out there playing bass and spinning his bass around and stuff as a kid. So just like absolute freak show talent and entertainer, just the full package. He's an absolute monster.
Yeah. Do you want to know who else is a monster?
Yeah, I sure do.
Right. Somebody that needs a little more attention, especially around slap bass, because every time I watch him play, I'm like, why does like everybody, like people in the know who he is, but I feel like he just needs more attention, right? People need to check this guy out because he's crazy talented.
Yes.
And Ian, you had an experience with Brian. You can tell us after this clip. So check this out. This is outrageous.
Mr. Brian Bromberg.
Down thumb, like Flea actually here.
Yep. Look at those upright fingers too. Like he plucks like an upright guy because he is.
I feel like you've got that. You do that lick, right?
Geez, thumb position. Look at this. No, I don't have any of these licks, man.
I don't know, dude. I've seen you do some of this stuff.
This two-handed tapping thing? Good night. I mean, look. Brian blew my tiny mind. Jeez, in the early 90s.
He's outrageous.
It's just, I mean, and it's a lot of notes, right? It's a lot, you know? Like, as I'm seeing that there, I'm like, whoa. But, you know, I used to go to this jazz camp, essentially, in Moscow, Idaho, and he was there. And he would do these master classes, and it was incredible. And I bought the records, and I even had the bass, man. Peavy made this thing called the B Quad 4.
Did you have the
signature.
bass?
Oh, I had one for years.
You turned up to the Brian Bromberg lesson with the Brian Bromberg bass. Amazing.
No, you know what? No, I didn't have it then when I turned up for the lesson. My mom got me a lesson with Brian, which was so cool. And I showed up, but I had the Billy Sheehan attitude at that time. It was before I got
bass.
Yeah, I don't have either of those basses anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, man, Brian was so nice to me, and I just have to shout him out. Like, I came in wanting to know how he did all that, like, you know, all that crazy, you know, like all that crazy two-hand stuff that he does.
You got it, dude. I know. You're like a sports car, right? Just chilling at 30. Like a Lambo chilling at 30. You just have all of that power.
No, man. I don't know.
And everybody watches this video knows it as well.
I just like I saw him do this stuff, right? Like, you know, playing like a root and a fifth down here, and then playing, you know, some kind of thing like that, right?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know how all that was happening. And essentially he gave me a lesson on chords. He was like, well, you know, if I'm playing the root here and I'm playing, you know, and then I'm coming up here and playing like, that's actually called a G dominant chord, you know, root, flat 7, you know, third. And I was bummed out. I remember thinking like, oh, I didn't learn how to go, you know, but he gave me this theory lesson and it was so cool. And he was so encouraging. And I remember him saying to me, hey, you know, if you were ever in LA, come study with me. Like, I think you have really great potential. And like, I think I could, you know, and just somebody like that saying something like that to a kid, I was probably 14, and he was so nice. And he gave, I mean, we were probably in a lesson together for 2 hours, and then he didn't charge my mom. He like, my mom was ready to write him a check, and he was like, oh, it was my pleasure. Like it changed my life, actually. Yeah. It changed my life. So shout out to you, Brian Bromberg. Absolutely incredible. And I mean, just blowing minds constantly, but mine for sure in the 90s. Yes.
And if people don't know as well, he's an incredible upright bass player as well. If you want to check out, he's done a great album called Wood, which is beautiful. And yeah, just gorgeous player. Now, Ian, we've only got time for 2 more people.
Okay.
So I've had to make a call. Okay. We've got a list that's longer than 2. We've got time for 2. I'm making a call. You'll like this next one, though.
Yes.
Check it out.
You cannot talk about slap bass.
I love this bass.
Listen to that filter sound, too.
Yeah. He does slap, by the way, people. I just wanted to start from the top of the solo. Woo.
The mighty Les Claypool for all of you audio listeners. Yeah. Also, I have to respect the khaki shorts game on stage here too.
Oh yeah.
Not something I would do. I don't have enough confidence to wear an admiral's jacket and khaki shorts, dude.
Do you reckon he was watching Jumanji before he did it? I'm going to go full Jumanji on this kick. Woo.
Just love that. Obtuse.
What do you think that is about like Les's slap style that's different? What like makes him stand out among the other players?
I think for me, it's the use of like non-diatonic. It's weirder, right? Like
it's
in terms of
weird.
Yeah. Like I won't remember exactly how to do, but like where there's chromaticism and it's not all just octave. It's not the traditional funk thing. Also, his sound, that was like both pickups on full. That didn't sound like Les at all. Like the way to do it, or, you know, to get closer is roll back to the bridge and even put on a little drive. So it's like the opposite of Marcus. Whereas Marcus, you know, is like both pickups on scooped. Les is like bridge pickup and drive. Like such a different sound.
And like physically, he just plays it very different, doesn't he? It's like it's just weird. Like Ian did. Well, we did. I say we did. You actually did it, but we did a video recently on Les Claypool, and Ian was sweating bullets. He was he was trying to get these riffs down, and he was like, "This is just The way that he approaches playing slap bass is it's like really unique to him, and I think that's why he sounds so unique, as you'd expect with that interesting approach. Now, talking about interesting approaches, we're going to wrap this up with somebody like similar to yourself and Brian Bromberg, somebody who I got to hang out with when I was younger. I went to one of his clinics, and it just completely, again, one of the sort of like life-changing moments where he just described something in a way that I'd never heard it described before. And I was like, oh, I get it. That thing that people have been talking to me about for like 3, 4, 5 years beforehand, he explained it just way better in 3 minutes. And I was like, oh, I fully get it now. And that guy was Alain Caron, who is an incredible player, but has such a weird slap sound, fully double thumb, but plays melodies like, yeah, it's kind of wild watching him play, and you'll see it in this clip. Check it out.
Oh, jeez.
Have you heard this?
No.
Oh, wait till you hear it. It's bonkers. His slapping sounds like a synth. He's slapping every single note.
Oh, and like some double pops.
Oh, yeah. Now check out this. This is weird. Oh, no. So what he's doing, I think he's using he's using like down thumbs, up thumbs, and index all at the same time.
Dude, that's freaking crazy.
There's a really cool bit coming up where he just plays this sort of like constant note. You might be able to do it. Oh.
God. Dude, that's wild. I've never seen this before.
Have you never seen it before?
No.
Let me see if I think he does a solo in this. Let's just forward it to the solo. Here we go.
Ugh. Dodo.
It's got that chorus, like Mark King, right?
Yeah, a bit of chorus. I don't mind that at all. Is this why you wanted to play an F bass early on?
No. But he is playing an F bass, yeah. Sounds like a synth, right?
Yes. And I don't know if he is double thumbing. I think it's double pops.
Is it double pop?
Yes. Triple pops? Like, is his third finger in the action?
Or maybe, yeah. He's got like a double P pickup on his bass as well.
Dude, it's just ferocious. Do you remember, Scott, there was a bass space where I got to interview Alain, and I don't know if you saw that particular, because, we were trading stuff, right? But I got to interview Alain, and I asked him about slapping. I'd never seen that clip before, but he was like, oh, I haven't slapped in years. He's like, I kind of stopped doing it. And I'm like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, but let me see. And then he took his bass out, and he slapped Donna Lee.
Oh yeah.
He went digga-digga-digga-digga-digga-digga-digga-digga-digga. He's like, oh yeah, and I'm like, jeez, dude. I mean, it was so, but it was interesting. Like the way he did it, it was completely straight. It wasn't swinging. It was very purposefully like like synth. You know?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's like super
yes.
synthy, isn't it? Yeah.
And it was just very cool and surprising. I had no idea I was in store for that, you know?
He's a cool guy, man. He's a great player, cool guy.
Incredible.
I got to hang out with him in Quebec as well. He was like playing in this great. I went to see a trumpet friend of mine out there, and he was playing there, and he was playing this like massive, like acoustic bass fretless thing. It was It was awesome. Anyway, dude.
Yeah.
Let's call it. I think that we've got some other slap players to show you guys, but we ran out of time, and I think we might need to do another one. We need Michelle. If anybody's wondering where Michelle is, if anybody's wondering where, I'm just like going to look at the other.
Yeah, the honorable mentions?
Yeah, honorable mentions.
Ida Nielsen.
Ida Nielsen. We wanted
Prince.
Yeah, we wanted to do Prince. Doug Wimbish. Yeah, sorry, Doug. Next time. Anyway, dudes.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to check out Slap Bass Accelerator, just go to ianandscottgowild.com. It's open for enrollment right now. If you've enjoyed this video, slap that like button, and we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.